Hey, good people. We're back at it again. This starts the first month of another year for us. Um, if I sound a little nasally or you see me popping a cough drop in every now and then, we're battling some colds. So just bear with us as we.
Yeah, you guys saw my Instagram post asking for home remedies on a sore throat.
Mhm,
I've been trying them all day.
mhm. So for this month, I think in the last video we said we would kind of do make some changes or edits, or I don't say edits, but just kind of go in some different directions um, with the videos for this year. So just some housekeeping stuff.
A little update. Our oldest daughter's class that she was taking at the community college has come to an end. It's a long semester, but she did a great job and ended on a good note. She got an A in the class, so we're thankful for that and proud of the work that she has accomplished and the example that she's setting for her siblings. So, we're excited to see what God has in store for her.
Uh-huh. That was a lot, back and forth, but we got through it. All the while, as many of you know, we're still trying to move. We've I want to say since November, and maybe even in October, it's just been a roller coaster. Still haven't hit our targets yet, but we're just trying to adjust as we go along, and just try to get there, right? One day at a time, one step at a time, and we'll
Keep praying, keep asking God to direct our path.
yeah. So one of the things that we thought would be interesting to talk about in for December is how we actually decided to select a church home, right? Both of us have come from different church backgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
I know for myself, a lot of the churches that I went to, and when I met Stacy, they're very conservative, right? So I was never used to I'll say what I was used to. You go to church, you're going to sit down, you'll sing one or two hymns, you'll shake hands, greet people. Maybe one or two soloists will get up, and after that, the pastor will actually get up and give the sermon. Right? After that, deuces, you're on your way home, right? So when I met Stacy, she told me that was essentially the complete opposite of what
I was raised in.
Yeah.
It was more of an open, order of service. The church I grew up in, most of my life, there were no programs showing you what the order of service was. Everybody just kind of knew. For all of you guys who are familiar with this, there was the testimony service that could go on for as long as it went on for. Usually the choir would sing an A and B selection, but if B selection got good, you kept on singing it till that was over. And so it was just a very different order of service, different expressions of worship. So we
butted heads.
We both agreed on Jesus.
Yes, we did.
We agreed on Jesus 100%, but the rest of it, we were like, what are you talking about?
We laugh now, right? Because of what I went through as a child, with regards to having to, my mother used to sing in a lot of choirs.
Mm-hmm.
And we would have to go with her. Me and my siblings, we would go with her. And as a little kid, it seemed like we were going all over the country, but we would go with her for practices that were all day. And for a little kid, that's a nightmare. Needless to say, the point I'm getting at is, to this day, I don't want to go sit at any type of gospel concert. It's like scarred. And I concede that point to the wife because she likes that. But here, the larger point is, not only do I not like sitting in long concerts, excuse me, I don't want to go to churches that there is the ratio between preaching versus preparing for the message is different, right? So preaching for me always has to be 80 to 90% of the service. It can never be 50-50. It has to be, it has to significantly outweigh the other. So we butt heads a lot. And to get around that, what we decided to do was pretty much identify what is it that we're looking for, or what are the main pieces or components that we're looking for in church, right?
And I think that is guided most, not by our feelings, not by traditions, not by this is just what I grew up with, but by God's word. What is scriptural? What does the Bible say? How does God ask us to worship him? What is it that we really are going to church to do? What is the purpose of a gathering of believers on a regular basis? So those things we had to go to the scriptures for. And so that is, I mean, it seems like that should be like the obvious choice for any believer to do. But it's surprising how much of a hold what you just are used to has on you.
Right. So
go ahead.
I think it would be good to clarify. By no means do I think, or do we think, that there is a perfect church.
Yeah.
Right. We both recognize that there are so many churches. Churches are led by people, and if people are imperfect, then, including myself, right, the church is made up of the people. It's not going to be perfect.
Imperfections, for sure.
So, I guess the gist of what we're saying is to get around our not coming together, not being on the same page. We created our own guidelines that work for our family, and I do not think that that either of us walked away with everything we wanted. But what we said we would do is, even if we disagree, Stacy was like, Jacob, I will defer to you as the head of the household, right? Bible based, so.
And if I could also say, I think also at the end of the day, going to church isn't only just what we wanted. It's what are you requiring from us? And we want to be found in your will, regardless of, which church we decide upon. That's the biggest thing. So even with that, so it's like, I might enjoy A, B, or C. But if those things aren't necessary, or if those things are just totally not founded in God's word, then I'm going to let that go if I want to be found in his will. So
I think that about sums it up. So I think for those, if anything that you get from this topic, how we approached it is more or less, listen, identify your basis, right? What it is that you should be getting from church. We would encourage you, really, it should be Bible based, right? And then I don't think any couple will ever agree 100% on everything all the time.
Mm-hmm.
right? And when that happens, it's fine to disagree in private, but in public, follow the husband's lead. So we had to cut the video out because there was a wardrobe malfunction. Somebody lost an earring. So the last part of the video, we decided that we will want to do something a little more lighthearted. And I was talking to a good buddy of mine, and actually I was talking to the wife first, and I reached out to a good buddy of mine. When I was in college, we used to play these word games. It would be word games or little puzzles, and there was one game that I remembered in particular, and it was a train game. And the object, for some who may not know, some may already know, but to play the train game, what you want to be able to do is board the train and deboard the train successfully, right? To do that is based on your ability to listen and watch, to see how others are playing, how others are boarding, and how others are deboarding. Is deboarding a word?
I'm gonna let you roll with it.
Well, just say getting off the train. Right? So here's an example. So what I'll do, I'll make it obvious, right? And I will say, for example, I'm going to get on a train, and let's say I'm going to go to, let's say I'm going to get on the train and go to Dallas, right? And then I'll get off, DC, all right? Y'all got it? That was pretty simple. So, that was pretty simple. It was pretty obvious. So the object is, once you figure out how to play, then you don't tell the next person how you figured out the game. What you would do is you would just keep playing back and forth with those who know how to play. Everyone else just has to figure it out. So I think to respond to this video, what you'll have to do is do your own video upload in response. So did you want to try?
Okay, I'll try. Okay. I'm going to get on the train at Indiana.
Ah.
Hey, y'all.
Indiana. That's the home state.
And then I'm going to get off the train at Florida.
Ah, Florida.
Sunshine.
Relatives. And
Yeah.
Shirley. She's
Hi,
in
Shirley.
Florida. All right. I'll give you one last one. And then I'll let you guys post videos if you want. If you get it right, we'll give you a thumbs up. So watch, pay attention. I'll get on a train in Tallahassee. I got it. And I'll get off in Maine. All right. So I gave it away. If you want to play along. Otherwise, we'll talk to you guys again next month. All right.
All right.